Ricardo. Hey, Pedro. How are you? Hi, Driven Dad. Hey, Lisa. How are you? Welcome to Tuesday. It's been one heck of a week. I'm telling you. I'm hoping everybody had a good week last week. Had a good start to the week. This week, if you can hear me and my audio is good, give me a thumbs up so I know I'm good to go for tonight. Hey, Thomas, how are you? I have my Dr. Pepper, so, I'm good. So everybody go grab whatever you want to drink, coffee, wine, soda, whatever. Hey, Cynthia, how are you? So I figured I would start tonight, and I really have no direction on tonight, but I figured I would kind of go through my week last week, and we'll kind of go from there, and you guys can we'll chat away tonight. Hey, Bud Soda, how are you? So I guess we'll hang out and we'll chat together tonight. So, oh, what a week here in New Jersey. Hey, DJ Gig and more, how are you? So a lot of my week last week was weather related, especially if you're in the New England area, in New Jersey. So the week was okay. I just had a lot of things. Hey, DoorDash Revolution, how are you? I just had a lot of things going on, and I felt like I was kind of like piecing together my week, and then some of the week was, hey, Kimberly, how are you? Some of the week was preparing for the blizzard coming to my area, so that was a lot of prep work going into that. Hey, Ellen, how are you? So that was like the beginning of the week, and then Friday hit, and they didn't know. Hey, PJ, they didn't know what time the snow was starting, what time it wasn't. So it started snowing in the morning, and then it stopped, and then they're like, okay, it's really gonna start at like a certain point. I'm like, can you just get your act together and just let the snow happen? So Friday, hey Mort, how are you? So Friday happened, and I got through majority of the day, and I'm like, okay, I'll go in tonight. I'll kind of take it order by order, and I'll kind of see what happens on Friday. And I think it was like 7 o'clock, and it was really starting to snow, and it started accumulating right away. And I'm like, okay, it's really time for me to go home for the night. I'm like, once it starts, once it starts sticking, I'm like, roads, I'm going home. And that's exactly, what I did. So that was my Friday, and then it really started coming down hard and quick. And then I woke up on Saturday morning, and there was so much snow, and I'm like, I don't know where where all this snow is coming from. There's so much snow. Hey, Sarah, how are you? Hopefully you're feeling better. So that was Saturday. So Saturday came, and I waited until like the afternoon. It was still snowing, and it didn't stop snowing, I don't think, until like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. But I'm like, hey, Monique, how are you? So I know, Lisa, it is supposed to happen again soon. I don't know whether it's this week. I can't remember, but we're supposed to get like rain and then maybe turn. Oh, who the frick knows what's happening with this crazy weather? So Saturday came, and I'm like, okay, I have my snowblower ready to go. And I knew this going into this season. Like, I knew last season, like, my snowblower was like on probably its last its last legs. I'm like, okay, I just needed to make it through like one more snow season here. So I get the snowblower, it starts. I'm like, yes, snowblower starts. So I start at the beginning of my driveway. Hey, Henry, how are you? Sorry. And I get like literally like 2 swipes into it, and like my freaking snowblower just like conked out. And I'm like, are you kidding me? No, no, no. Oh, man. I was so upset. So, you know, I love my husband to death, but he tried to come out and, hey Josh, how are you? Um, yeah, we'll get into that. So, so my husband, I love him to pieces, but he tries to come out, and I'm like, what are you doing? So he's trying to shovel. He got like 5 shovels in. He's just like, I'm done. And I'm like, okay, well, so if you're just tuning into my channel and you're new to my channel and haven't been here before, so my husband had a heart attack and surgery last year. So last year at this time, he couldn't even like lift a shovel. So I was actually super proud that he actually, got 5 shovels in. But I'm like, okay, well, here I go. Oh, it's snowing in Denver tonight. I can't even imagine Midwest in Denver, like how much snow you got. I'm like complaining over just one storm. I can't imagine how you guys deal with all the snow like on a consistent basis. More power to you. So he tries to help for like 5 shovels. He's like, nope, sorry, I can't. I'm like, it's all good. I'll keep going. So here I am. I'm trying to like shovel. He did clean off the car, so that was good. That's one less thing I had to do, and he did like the stairs for me. So two less things I had to do. So I'm shoveling and shoveling, and thank God my across the street neighbor like saw me, and he came over and helped me shovel the rest of my driveway. So thank God for like fantastic neighbors. Like I probably would still be shoveling like now if it wasn't for my fantastic neighbor. So that was my Saturday. So yay. So much for like my relaxing. I had like all these like grandiose plans. I'm like, I'm gonna be snowed in, I'm gonna relax, I'm gonna spend time with my family. Yeah, I freaking did manual labor all day. I'm like, really? But it's all good. It got done. Except for like the last part of my driveway. I did that was it yesterday or the day before? I feel like these days are blurring together after a while. So that was my Saturday, and then Sunday, like I woke up and I'm like, I'm starting to get antsy. I'm like, I need to get out. I need to like do something. I want to see how my audio is low. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me know if that's better. I adjusted the volume of my mic. So let me know. Give me a thumbs up if that actually is better. Hey Kevin, how are you? So Sunday morning came, and I'm like, okay, I need to get out. Let me at least see how the roads are doing. So I first go out to my road, and they plowed it, which is good, but it was still very snow covered, very slippery. And then I'm like, okay, let's get to the main road. So the main road was like okay at best. And I feel like I'm being generous when I say that. So I'm like, okay, let me do a couple more side streets, because some of our deliveries in our houses that we deliver to are on side streets. So we do like a lot of side streets, and there is like a lot of slipping and sliding, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna kind of turn around and go back home. I'm going to let the towns do their cleanup, let them salt, let them do whatever they need to do. Maybe I'll try a little bit later. So I let the morning and the afternoon go by. So, and the afternoon, my husband, who also does DoorDash, he went out and he didn't make it very far, and he turned around and came back too. So there goes that. So Saturday night, I'm like, hon, I'm gonna go out. I have to see how it is. Like, I need to go out. I need to go make some money. So and you know me, I can't sit still to save like literally the life of me. So I decide, I'm like, okay, I'll take it like in order at a time on Sunday. And one order, great. And then like Uber Eats had a quest. When was the last time I had like a quest on Uber Eats? I'm like, oh my God, there's an Uber Eats quest. Maybe I need to take a couple more orders. And my first order was an Uber Eats order. So I'm like, can I actually get at least one quest in? So then like, you start thinking in your head and like, okay, well, if I take one order, well, if I get 2 orders, and and I think it was like 4 orders got you like $6. Not that it was like uber fantastic, but it was still extra money into your pocket. So yeah, so one order turned into 2 orders, and then DoorDash I think was in the 250 or 350. They were in a peak pay, but it was a pretty decent peak pay. That was, hey Kathy, how are you? It was a pretty decent peak pay that they were in. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll kind of keep going until the roads, Takeem, how are you? Um, until like the roads kind of get like really slippery, because I knew it was gonna go down to like in the teens again. I'm like, the roads are gonna probably freeze up, and I'll kind of know what my own comfort level is when it comes to snow. And I said this on Friday, and I will always say this, and I go with my own comfort zones, and I always say, know what your own comfort zone. If you are one of those drivers that are out in the snow, go for it and make your money. And I'm just not, I'm not that person. I'll go out in like, little bits of snow, kind of like what you saw. But I almost feel like I'm a little bit of a nervous Nelly when it comes to like really like deep snow on the roads, and I have a Hyundai accent, so I'm just saying. So I think I called it quits. I got one quest done on Uber. I got a couple of DoorDash orders in, and so I think it was like 8-ish maybe. I'm like, okay, the roads were starting to slip and slide, and brakes weren't working so well. So I'm like, okay, it's really time to go home. So I think I worked 3 hours on Sunday night, and so that was like my Sunday, and I'm like, okay, Monday I'm hitting it hard, and I'm excited to get out and actually finally do a full shift. So yesterday, I had a pretty decent Monday. So that was yesterday, and that was kind of that was my week. Oh, oh. So what a week it was, and here we are back on Tuesday, all over again. And as I'm like starting, I'm actually talking and kind of reading like your comments as they're coming in. So I'm gonna address some of them real quick before I kind of move on. I think Thomas, you asked if this is a new background. Yes, it is a new background. So I think I got it like last week, right before last week's live, and I wanted it to actually not have shadows and actually look professional and fun for you guys. So yes, it is a new background that I have behind me, so that's brand new. So hopefully you guys are having a fantastic week. I see comments coming in from you guys that you guys have had slow weeks, and I am going to go into my opinions on, at least in my area I should say, I'm going to go into my opinions on what I think about the slow times, because I think we're all kind of feeling that that pinch in a lot of our areas. But oh, Betsuda, you're getting the lake effect here. I know a lot of you guys, was it Kathy? I think you were saying you're getting, maybe I missed a comment, that you're getting like some pretty decent snow this week, like 10 to 20 inches or something like that. A couple of you guys out in the Midwest were saying you were bracing for a pretty big thunderstorm. Wow, I wish it was thunderstorm at this point. Snowstorm. Okay, I ordered the hot bag on your description. I get it tomorrow. Ooh, I'm excited for you. Let me know how you like it. Mm-hmm. But so I know you said your area has been, you've been feeling it as well. You were saying that you can't keep making less than $300 a day. I feel like we're all feeling the pinch, and this is what I'm going to talk to you. Oh, Kathy said yes, starting in a few hours, predicting 18 inches or more. Ooh, I thought I was bad with 14. Now I feel bad about complaining about the 14 inches I got. So be safe. Be safe out there. But Soda, that is true. Nothing wrong with working hard if you're making money. Good point. So DJ Gig and more, you said I live in a private road, so we don't get plowed. Ugh, I should send you a picture of what my street and property look like. Oh, please do send me pictures. I love seeing pictures. So yeah, definitely, definitely send me pictures. So, but so you said, is anyone averaging north of $30 per hour? I I'm probably averaging, I'm gonna say 25 to like 27 dollars an hour. Maybe on weekends, maybe I hate to say, like, I feel like there's sometimes some pockets that I sometimes achieve those $30 an hour, and then there's other times where it's like $20 an hour. Sometimes it's $25 an hour. I feel like it's very fluctuating depending on whether it's like a weekend day or weekday. And, I'm going to go into that right now. So, a lot of you guys, and we've been commenting a lot back and forth to each other, asking about slow markets. And, I feel like we're all feeling the slowness and the pinch of, I call it January blues. And I feel like we're going through that. I feel like we go through a holiday and people are spending money, and like they're very generous with their money, and they're spending it on gifts. And then I feel like we go to January and we go, and even myself, like, I'm not spending nearly what I was spending in December, just because it was a holiday and you're spending more money. And then you come to January, like, okay, I need to get back on a budget. And I will say this, and this is kind of what I want to talk, and I feel like this is what's happening in my area and in my market, is I feel as though there's a lot of orders coming in, but there are not a lot of good quality orders coming in. Like, I still feel like I'm getting orders, but some of my orders that I would be getting $10 to $20 orders that I would normally get on DoorDash and Uber Eats, I'm now replacing them with like $6.75 order and $8 orders. And I just feel like people's spending habits, I mean, there's other factors too, but I just feel like people's spending habits aren't what they used to be. Even, yeah, I don't want to say we're out of the pandemic, because we're not out of the pandemic, but it's definitely a different time than when we were at the beginning of the pandemic. I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to say. And what I'm finding myself is orders that I normally wouldn't think about taking like a couple months ago. I'm like, okay, well, I'm taking this because I'm not the type of person that sits around. And so I am literally grateful sometimes for the orders that are coming. And you're going to, and you have seen me take $4.75 order, $5 orders, which, 3-4 months ago, I would have said, no way, Jose, there's no way I'm taking that order. And now I'm just kind of rethinking my processes, that, okay, I have to kind of adjust with kind of what's going on with my market. And, just like you guys, there are some days that, I hate to say I'm even goaling myself anymore. I'm just going out and I feel like I'm just going out and taking orders at this point and trying to get a good amount of day in, whether it's $130 or whether it's $200. I'm literally going out there and seeing what orders I'm taking and just taking orders at this point. And by doing that, and before I was like, I have to make goal, but I feel like I was putting so much pressure on myself to make goal, it was actually having the reverse effect on it. So now I have kind of like a different mindset. I'm just going to take orders, and sometimes, they're $4.75 orders, sometimes they're $8 orders, and sometimes Uber comes in with a stacked order that I'm like, where did this come from? And I feel like, and do I even say it? I feel like I'm jinxing it by saying that. Like, I feel like in the past couple of days, like Uber is back a little bit, little bit. I feel like I'm jinxing myself by saying that. I don't know, but like, I feel like I'm seeing like a little bit of an uptick in Uber. I got like I got a little excited when I'm starting to get, Uber orders again. And because I'm telling you, like the past like month prior to 2 months prior, I'm like, man, is Uber even going to be around anymore? Is Uber even non-existent in my market? And I'm starting to see, Thomas, you're saying you're seeing better in Uber too. So it's maybe in like the past like 5-ish days, I'm really starting to see like Uber come back. I went out for a couple of hours this today, and I was actually getting Uber too. So I'm like, oh, is Uber coming back? Maybe just like I'll even take like a little bit at this point of Uber making a comeback, something, because Grubhub hasn't been cutting it for my area lately. I think Grubhub was like my third producing app in for me like last week. But what was really like my eye opener and kind of how my market has completely changed from a couple months ago to what it is today is, I did that pizza bag challenge. I already had a pizza bag. It was just something fun for me to challenge myself to do last week, and it was 15 deliveries, and you got a free pizza bag. So I did that last week. Oh, you said more Uber at night, not day, lately. Yeah, like I said, I actually got Uber orders. I think it was today. Sometime like last week, Uber in the afternoon. I'm like, oh, I got an Uber order. I'm so excited. So I did that pizza bag challenge, and I did it pretty easily. I got the 15 orders pretty quickly. And to me, that makes me feel like, I'm like, okay, so orders are coming in, but this is what kind of was my eye opener to eye openers is normally if I would do, a couple months ago, if I would do 15 orders on DoorDash, like I would probably be at like $150 to $180. And yeah, no, like, no, I wasn't even like in that ballpark that I would normally be in. So to me, when I did that the other day, I'm like, that's what like really like, wow, like my market and whatever is happening out there and what you guys are actually seeing as well, like that's what I've been noticing. So I really feel as though like the orders are there. It's just people just either aren't spending money, they're not tipping as much, they're not getting as big of orders, like they're not feeding like their entire family for 2 days. Like I don't know what else is going on, but you're just not getting like those big orders. And the one thing I guess I realized in my area that I can't just be sitting around waiting for, unicorn orders to come in, because they're now few and far between. And you know what, I'm literally just taking orders and, just taking orders throughout the day, and where I end up is where I end up. And and we'll go into where we're at with our New Year's resolutions that I talked to, a couple weeks ago. But you know what, my cutoff time is my cutoff time. And you know what you guys see are my totals literally every single day, whether it is $130 or whether it's $200. You know what, that's the real of just going out there at this point and, just making money and just making money. Yeah, Kevin, I say that all the time. You said if traffic is very high, is very light, I'm okay with driving in the snow. More worried about other drivers than me. I always say I trust my driving in the snow. I don't trust what other people are going to do in the snow. Do they know how to stop properly? Do they know what happens when they slip inside? Like, I'm just saying, I always worry about them more than I worry about me. So Josh, you said it seems back to normal for this week. I made $255 and $210 today. That's awesome, Josh. Good for you. Bud, you're killing it with those hours. More power to you, my friend. You said I work 12 to 15 hours most days, sometimes 18 hours till orders dry up. On Sundays, I've been staying out no matter what. You have 3 a.m. if you start before midnight to earn the end of the week. Good for you, Bud. Josh, didn't have as many pizza orders today as I did yesterday. I don't know, if one of you guys asked me and to keep you guys updated, so I'll do like when I get this pizza bag, which I had to fill out the form for. So when I get the pizza bag, I will do a reveal of the DoorDash pizza bag. But one of you guys had asked me to keep you guys updated if I get more pizza orders. But I will say this, like, I did sign up my pizza bag, even though it was a Grubhub pizza bag, but I signed up my pizza bag when we had to fill out that form, and I never received more pizza orders. I now see more. This is so weird. I have like a ShopRite, which is like a grocery store by me. I don't know if you guys have them in your area, but I have ShopRite by me, and some of the ShopRite orders say must require a pizza bag for grocery pickup, which I find very odd. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Very strange. Very strange. At least in my opinion, it's very strange. Oh, thank you, PJ. Yes, I'm going to take a drink of, a sip of my drink. So while I'm taking a sip of my drink, if everybody can go right now, go out and give this, well, not go out, but go and give this live a thumbs up. That would be fantastic. If you are new to my channel and just seeing this for the very first time, or you're thinking about subscribing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. Make sure that bell is turned on so you know when my latest videos come out as well. So go ahead, go right now, everybody go and hit that thumbs up button. Thomas, you said you did 7 hours today and did $185. That's a pretty decent day. That's actually pretty awesome. Good for you. Hey Karen, how are you? Yeah, Kathy, that's actually funny. Your couch will keep me safe. I don't blame you. Stay on the couch, my friend. Stay away from the snow. Be safe. Hey, Gig Lebowski, how are you? Congratulations on your 600 subscribers. Oh, that's right, PJ. Oh, you're gonna have an awesome Super Bowl weekend by you. That's freaking awesome. Oh, you're gonna have to let me know how your Super Bowl Sunday goes. I'm really looking forward to working Super Bowl Sunday. None of our New York teams or Philly teams are in the Super Bowl, but I did really, really well with the Super Bowl last year. So knock on wood, the same thing is gonna happen. It's gonna happen tonight. I mean, this coming Super Bowl. I couldn't get that out for whatever reason. I'm like, why can't I get that out? Why can't I get that sentence out? Yeah, Thomas, you said you're working on Super Bowl too. I'm telling you, I had Super Bowl was one of my best days last year working Super Bowl. So I'm hoping it's gonna be a really good Sunday. Oh yeah, but soda, that's a good one too. Daytona 500. Yeah, Kevin, you made a good fast 4 days because you were snowplowing, right? You were snowplowing by me, right? Is that what you were down in? you were snow plowing for the past 4 days. Ugh, that's a lot of work. Yeah, that really is a good thought, but I never really even gave that at the Daytona 500. I never really gave that a thought, but it's a really, really good suggestion. So PJ, you said I did $20 in an hour between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. last week with Uber Eats, not even lunchtime. Good. So you're starting to make a rebound too. I thought it was just me. I'm like, ooh, is it just me, or am I like starting to like really feel like Uber's coming back alive? So Kimberly said I had a Denny's order today and they sent me a stacked for $14 for 8 miles, and I thought about it and didn't take it. It worried Denny's food would get cold, still bothering me. I turned it down. I'm telling you, sometimes we make decisions. That's what we do. We make good decisions, and sometimes we're like, oh, should I have taken that order? Oh, should I not have taken that order? But I always say, follow your instincts and go with it. And it actually seems like you did. So, hey, hi, you DM. How are you? But I'm telling you, you have one heck of an F workout. Not uncommon for me to do 45 hours for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but need to work more. Oh, I'm telling you, one of those things, I'm going to go into like, kind of like my New Year's resolutions and where I'm at with like my New Year's resolutions, but I'll go into it now before I continue on. So I figured it's February 1st, so happy February, everybody. So I figured I would give you guys an update on my New Year's resolution. So one of my New Year's resolutions was to not wait more than 10 minutes for a Grubhub order, and I'll extend it to most other orders as well. And I will say, I am like sticking to it. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. You're here. I'm sticking to it. Like 10 minutes, I am walking out that door, and man, I'm proud of myself for actually listening to my New Year's resolution. Has really helped me make better decisions, but it makes me think about the orders I take, especially Grubhub orders. Like on Sunday, I didn't even, with me just going out for the couple of hours I did after the snow, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not even gonna turn on Grubhub because I'm like, I'm not dealing with the snow, I'm not dealing with Grubhub wait times and the snow, and I'm like, nope, not happening. I didn't even turn on Grubhub. But I will say, I'm not saying I haven't waited. I feel like sometimes my wait times depend on the amount of the order. I think it was like last week or the week before, I think I waited like 15 minutes for like a bagel order, but it was like a $22 stacked order, and I'm like, I'm not letting a $22 stacked order go. And I know the bagel store, they know me, and I know that they were trying to get it out as quickly as humanly possible. So that was probably the one time that I didn't stick to like my 10-minute rule, just because it was $22. But even that, I would have given it up if it was anything more than 15 minutes, just because time is money, and we're moving on. But that was my one New Year's resolution. So my next New Year's resolution was, the work-life balance, and making sure whatever times that I set for myself, I stick to them. And I am so proud of myself. Like, I've been like really sticking to it, and I've been kind of cutting myself off some nights at 8 o'clock, some nights at 9 o'clock. I really haven't been working unless it's like the weekend, and I know like I'm here to make money. Like, I haven't been staying out until like 10 o'clock. I've actually been getting sleep, which, I'm getting sleep. The thing is, the later I stay out, the later I stay up editing, and then the less sleep I get. So this has really helped me become better at time management. So by giving me specific times and sticking to that times, like I feel like I'm becoming a better worker and then also better at home as well. So I will say that I feel like, I'm working on other projects, and I feel like some days I start early in the morning. Sometimes I start at my regular 10 o'clock. Like I feel as though like I'm dedicating different hours to different things, which is in turn helping me out as well. So you guys are probably going to see that, and have probably seen that. Like I'm just working different times depending on kind of what's going on with personal life, projects going on, how I'm fitting everything in. So that's kind of where I'm at with my New Year's resolution. So if you guys had any New Year's resolutions, like throw them out there. How are you guys doing? Did you keep to them? Did you stick to whatever you decided to do? But those are kind of my updates to my New Year's resolutions, and have really helped me out and become a better delivery driver while I'm out there, and a better family person as well. So I'm seeing more of my family, which is fantastic. I'm pretty sure they're loving me come home. I actually get to tuck my little one in at nighttime for her bed, so that's pretty awesome. So I'm actually really excited that I'm really sticking to those New Year's resolutions, just because it has really helped me out. Yeah, but I'm sorry, I know I'm late on some of these comments, but yes, Grubhub bags are the best. The Grubhub bag is actually one of the bags I keep behind my driver's seat, and then I have a humongo, like that big backpack Uber Eats one that they gave us for, I don't know if you guys got it, but it was like 2 years ago, like during the height of the pandemic, they actually offered like that big backpack Uber Eats bag. I think it was like $20 at the time. I actually snatched that up, and I keep that along with my pizza bags in the trunk, so if I have like double orders or more than orders, like I have other storage areas in my car. But I love my Grubhub bag. It's probably one of my favorite insulated bags. It keeps it all nice and toasty between that and my Uber Eats bag. Love them both. And I don't know whether you still can, but I think Grubhub, and Bud, you might know this, or maybe even UDM if you're still here, you might know this. They were offering Grubhub bags like months ago for a discounted price because they were doing their rebranding, but they were allowing anybody, even if you weren't a Grubhub driver, to purchase the bags. I don't know whether they're still doing that as well, or if it's even still available, but it was like a really good deal when they had it. So they are gone. Oh, bummer. Sorry. But yeah, they were fantastic bags. I don't know what the new branding, if their bags are. Oh, they're only on eBay. Thank you, Thomas. I really appreciate it. You're cool too. Thank you. Oh, Jordan, Dad, that's an awesome order. You got a $17 Uber Eats for Buffalo Wild Wings, only going 4 miles. No, snatch that order up. That's a really good order. So Kimberly said, how do you get the Grubhub bags? Like I said, you can try going onto their website. They were allowing, those discounted bags aren't there, according to Bud. They're not there anymore. But they were allowing people other than Grubhub drivers to purchase their bags. I don't know whether that's still the case. But you're on the wait list. My wait list was forever and a day. A year and a half. The only thing I can tell you, and I don't know whether this is a coincidence or not a coincidence, but I think I was at the 1.5 year mark, and I did 2 things. There is a form you can fill out that you can send them to check on the status of your application, and I sent them like that form like every single day for like 2 weeks straight. And then on top of that, they were advertising on Facebook they were advertising Grubhub now hiring in your area, and I had actually made a comment on the Facebook. I've been on a wait list for a year and a half, and you're advertising that you're hiring in my area. Can you please help me out? Oh, Debbie, you just got off the wait list. Good for you. And actually, someone had messaged me right away from Grubhub, I'm assuming, and they told me to give them my information. And I gave them everything, and they responded okay. And then I never heard anything. And then a week later, I got the email saying, you've been approved for Grubhub. And I'm like, Grubhub, finally. So that was kind of like my Grubhub saga. But I know all about those wait times. I'm just saying, they're a little booger. So Thomas, you said the most hours you're doing are 10 to 11 hours. Josh, I've seen more red bag required orders this week. You have to take a picture of your hot bag each time. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen that. I will say this with, I haven't seen that with the hot bags. That's interesting. Take a picture the next time you see it and send it to me. I'm just curious on what that actually looks like. I will say this. Has anybody been getting this? Like, it's literally driving me like bonkers. Hey David, how are you? Is Uber Eats, I don't know whether it's like their new app update. It's been happening for like almost 2 weeks now. Like, I go to take a picture at the customer's door and it uploads, and then as soon as it uploads, I get like that message that pops up that says like a whole bunch of messages, like you can send, your customer can't find your address, so on and so forth, and then like wipes the picture out, and then you have to retake the picture all over again, and it's such a pain in the butt. And I'm like, why are these messages popping up? It's actually driving me crazy, because then you have to go back, and sometimes you're in your car already and you lost the picture. And is anybody else, am I the only one that's that app is happening to me? I'm just saying. But it's literally driving me crazy. Yeah, a lot of you guys were saying that you have pizza places that actually go, like, you can get pizza bags from. You guys are saying Pizza Hut. I don't have a Pizza Hut around me. You guys are saying Papa John's. I have a Papa John's, but it's like I have to be almost in another zone in order to get like Papa John's in my area. So I feel like all the places you guys get your pizza bags from, like, nope, don't have it. So it's pretty awesome that you guys can actually do that. Yeah, Josh. I wish this live was sponsored by. I wish. But yeah, gotta have my Dr. Pepper. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get everybody addicted to Dr. Pepper before long. If you're not already. Oh, Diane, good for you. You're hustling tonight, $27 an hour and 1.25 hours tonight. Go get your hustle on, girl. But thank you for listening. Be safe. Don't listen and drive at the same time. Be safe while you're out there. I hear you, bud. I know you're especially feeling it out there. I think we're all feeling the pinch in some way, form of another. And I know you are very goal oriented, and you're out there, you're hustling, you're working those hours. And I'll always say this: I admire you, so keep doing you and keep the hustle going. Even though I know it could be very frustrating when that happens. Oh, bud, you took today off? Oh, I'm impressed you took today off. Good for you. I hope you are on the couch, you are relaxing, and you're enjoying your day off. It's funny, Josh, you said Jenner Z gonna do a real halftime show this year. Until you said that, I don't even think I knew who the halftime show was last year. Last year, was it The Weeknd was the halftime show? Was that the halftime show? And I won't, I was not impressed. I was going to say something really bad about it, and I won't. I'll keep it positive and say I wasn't impressed with last year's halftime show. Mm-hmm. So Thomas, who said, is anybody else seeing pump up in DoorDash or still trash? DoorDash still seems to be like my number one app in my area. So, thank you, Thomas. Keep pushing and hustling, Kim. Thank you so much. I still feel like DoorDash is still, as of right now, like my number one app. The way like my money breakdown was last week, DoorDash was my number one, Uber was number two, and Grubhub fell to my number three last week. So am I going to say there aren't trash orders coming in from DoorDash? Absolutely, there still is, but I will say they're still pumping out the orders, and there's still, like, I can literally rely on DoorDash even during, I always say we have those transitions in the morning between like 10 to like 11, and then the afternoon from like 2 to 4. So I feel as though a lot of times DoorDash is like, no matter what, like I'm still getting orders from DoorDash. They might be small orders, but I'm still getting orders during those slow periods of time. So in my area, I still feel like DoorDash is still like really relevant and is still pumping in my area. So Kevin, you said you and Tom Soren didn't have a chance to dash out there. I would have been curious on. I've been wanting to go for, like, I keep trying different areas. I haven't gone that far south yet, but I would have been curious if you actually turned it on while you're down there. PJ, has anybody seen Uber Eats notifications letting you know it's busy in your area? I haven't seen them before until last week. I have always gotten those notifications. What I find interesting about those, I get them through text messages, or even, no, they're regular notifications. I sometimes get when it's like really bad weather. Oh, I have actually a story for you for bad weather. But I usually get Uber Eats, kind of like travel at your own risk during bad weather, or they'll tell you if there's like a peak ping in your area, so I'll get those texts. But I do get those messages. I think I've always gotten those messages, but what I find funny is, like, you think if you get those messages and you turn on the map and you're expecting it to be orange during the day or blue at night, and you turn on and like the map is just a regular map, and you're like, where's it busy? Like, maybe I'm missing this. I don't get it. But I have always gotten those notifications. But if they're new, maybe they're new to your area. I don't know. But I find, like, as soon as they send out those notifications, like, I'm like, where's it busy? I don't even see like those hot zones on the map anywhere. So I don't know. I don't quite get that, to be honest with you. Oh, so going back to, I have another snow story. So I, of course, nosy Nelly that I am, and always, thinking about gig work, is while I was out and about, or I shouldn't say out and about, but when I was home, I decided to I was going to turn on DoorDash just to see what peak pays are during the snowstorm, and kind of if I would get an order, what the order looked like. I didn't turn it on, but DoorDash was in, I think, a 350 peak day in my area during like the middle of the storm, which I thought was quite interesting. But what I found interesting is on Saturday morning, I get an alert from Grubhub saying Grubhub will be turned off for your area during the snowstorm. It will reopen again on Sunday morning, so there will be no deliveries available for the drivers, so to speak. So I thought that was really interesting that Grubhub shut down in my area. I've never really seen that, but supposedly DoorDash and DoorDash and Uber Eats were like pumping. They were pumping out there. So they were still going. People are still delivering. So I know from a couple of drivers that I know and speaking to, I see it from both ends. Like Grubhub's like, hey, I was impressed. We saw we're keeping our drivers safe, but I know from like a driver's perspective, those who are out there and working and we're like, okay, I am out here risking being out here, and now I can't get Grubhub orders. So they were really disappointed that Grubhub was out in my area. So two different ends of the spectrum, but I thought it was interesting that Grubhub shut down in my area because I've never really seen that before. So let me know if you guys have seen that before too. But so you are so right on this one. Highway miles are king, and you do a lot of big dollar orders if you just, or it's just that slow for me right now. I do even more just to earn more of them. So yeah, I couldn't, a lot of times, especially around my area, a lot of it is highway driving, and when you guys see me take a lot of like some of my bigger mile orders, it's because there is a good chunk of change going on in that order, but a lot of it is highway driving as well, which you can do them quick, they're easy. You get on the highway 65, 70 miles an hour, you're at your customer's house, and sometimes they're quicker than doing some of your shorter distance orders and going some of your back roads. So but I could not agree with you more on that one. PJ, you're very lucky that you only waited 2 weeks for Grubhub. So Karen, you said you've been waiting for 3 months. Yeah, I'm telling you, some of the Grubhub, depending on your area, some of those wait lists are like no joke. It's so funny because some of you are like, I only waited a week, and I'm like, darn it, I waited a year and a half. So Kimberly, you said you have the same thing. Same with the Uber app. After taking a pic, the messages get in the way. It drives me crazy, dude. And you have to reload sometimes it just knocks that picture right out, and sometimes it actually happens as you're taking the picture, and you're like, go away. Hey, John, how are you? Gosh, I could never live in Raglan with no Pizza Hut there. I honestly don't even know where the nearest Pizza Hut around me is. It's been a while since I've been to Pizza Hut. Probably since I lived back by my parents. That's probably how long it's been since I had Pizza Hut. So PJ said, do any of you get a tood when you pick up Papa John's order? I always get dirty looks from in-house Papa John's delivering orders when I come in to grab them. I've only done 2 Grubhub orders, I think, in the 2 or 3 years I've been doing this. It literally is almost in another zone. So I almost have to be I think the only reason why I've had those 2 orders is because I was over there and they came in, and I'm like, okay, it actually gets me back closer to home, so I've taken them to get me back closer to home. So it's a very rare occasion that I do Papa John's, and every time that I've gone in there, like, I've only been like the only person there with like one other person. So I don't know, it's because my Papa John's isn't busy, but it'd be interesting if any of you guys else have seen it. Takeem, I had a free Chick-fil-A really early today. Customer put a wrong address. They put their work address instead of their home address. So that happened to me yesterday. Oh. So last night, same thing happened to me. Well, I don't know whether it was their work address or not, but I go to a local pizza place. I go pick up the order. It's literally a medium pie. Put it in the hot bag, ready to go. In my car, start it, hit ready for delivery. It was Grubhub, by the way, and I get a text from the customer. I have the wrong address. This is the correct address, and I'm pretty good with knowing the addresses around my area or street names around my area, and it didn't even sound familiar. So I said, what town? And they said it was like 20 to 30 minutes away, and I'm like, and she goes, can you still deliver it? And I'm like, oh no, so sorry. So I said, you have to call support, cancel it on your end, and I will cancel it on my end. So I called support, and I'm like, man, it was a $10 order. I'm like, man, I'm gonna get like $1, maybe $3 max on this order, because one time I had a $30 order and I got canceled and I got freaking $1 for it, but I'm not bitter at all whatsoever. So I get on the phone with support, and they're like, okay, we'll cancel it on our end so you can move on and dispose of the food. So I'm just like, you'll get a percentage of the order. So I'm like, okay, it'll probably be $1, $3, and got off the phone, looked, and it ended up being full payout. I was like dumbfounded, because I think that was my biggest cancellation I've ever gotten on Grubhub. Usually they're notorious for having one of the worst cancellation rates and paying their drivers, but I'm like, I don't know whether it's because I had already gotten past the point where like I was actually on delivery, and that's why they gave me the full payout, but I am pleasantly surprised that I got the full payout out of it. But the same thing literally happened to me last night. So David, you said my dad has been doing DoorDash and Uber Eats, and my dad has been trying to get onto Grubhub order in my area. I'm telling you, I feel like it's like hit or miss depending on where you're at in the United States, whether you're like in a busy Grubhub area or not, and whether you can get on, not get on. Like, I feel like you never know once you like sign up if it's going to be available, not available. And they don't tell you. This is another thing. I wish hey Roger, hi Steve, how are you? I wish they would tell you kind of where you're at in the line of the process. Like, they always say that you're like, they're very upfront with the process. To me, they're not. Like, I feel like they need to have a better process so you know kind of where you're at in the process. I'm just saying. So on there, hi, you said tonight was slow, but I shut down early to conserve gas. Tomorrow is another day. Hey, we all have those nights. And there are some nights I'm like, okay, going home. You know what? Like, you can sometimes go through 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you're like, okay, I'm not getting orders. It's you have to know when to fold them. So just saying. Or did that like completely just date me? So Kathy, you said Jet's Pizza will also offer you a bag. DoorDash sends them 200 each to these pizza joints. I don't have a Jet's Pizza by me, but that's good to know. Thomas, you said Uber support is horrible, Kim. Oh, don't even get me started on Uber Eats support. Oh, I'm just saying. I've had some pretty bad experiences with Uber support. They're not very supportive if you ask me. I will say though, was it like last week? I had an Uber problem and I called and I was surprised I got someone right away, which to me is like surprising all in itself because I feel like you're always waiting for someone on Uber support to come on, but they were able to resolve it very easily, and I'm like, whew, dodged that bullet. But very, yeah, don't even get me started on Uber Eats support. I'm just saying. So, Bud, you said the first storm I worked on Grubhub, you had to take every 3 to 4 orders to get a mission bonus. Got my butt paused because of what they wanted. You know, they were throwing, I think on Friday they threw bonuses at you, but it was like, I don't know, it was something weird. I think it was like $36 for like 12 deliveries during like the height of like the storm, and I'm like, who's gonna do 12 deliveries for $36 during a height of a storm? Like you would almost have to average with Grubhub, and their wait time is like 3 orders an hour to even achieve that $36. Never along during while it's snowing, and like I don't like Grubhub. I don't know what you're thinking, but I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But to me, some of their bonuses just don't make sense. I think the last snowstorm we got, it was like $2 for completing 2 deliveries, and you could only skip like 1, and it was like during the middle of a snowstorm too. I'm like, man, Grubhub, what you doing? I'm just saying. So Gay Globowski said, Uber Eats is so weird in my area. I got 0 today. Usually get 1 order a day. Thankfully, it's obviously not money, and I wish it was though. I always say that as well. I wish, and I've said that from the beginning, even during when like Uber Eats was like fantastic in my area. I'm like, man, I just wish Uber Eats was busy enough in my area to make it like my main app, and it's just not. It's not consistent, and it's not consistently busy in my area. And I feel like I said, you know, the past 2 weeks, I feel like they like ghosted me for a little while, and like now I feel like they're making like a little bit of a comeback. Yeah, Thomas, I could not agree with you more. You said you have some of the best drivers here with you, and I am so honored to be here with you. And I'm telling you guys are truly the best. Ah, PJ, thank you so much. I'm a pepper. He's a pepper. Kim's a pepper. We're a pepper. That's really funny. Thank you, PJ. I really appreciate it. So everybody go grab a Dr. Pepper. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, and I am so super proud to be here with every single one of you guys. You know, I always appreciate you guys saying that, you know, hey, Gig Economy Podcast, how are you? I always feel as though, you know, you guys say I motivate you, but I feel like you guys motivate me every single day that I go out there, because I'm like, okay, I have to take you guys along with me today, and I have to give you guys my best, and I have to, you know, show you exactly what happens in, you know, all my pickups and all my drop-offs. And, you know, I feel like you guys motivate me as much as you guys say I motivate you, so thank you so much. And yes, we have some of the best drivers that are here tonight, and I appreciate each and every one of you. 13 rounds of boxing. How much can you make if you started at 5:30 a.m. and worked until 4:30 p.m. with an hour break doing DoorDash? I'm going to say it completely, depends on your area. I don't know your area well enough to kind of, I hate to say, comment on that. It kind of just depends on, it really depends on your area and how, if DoorDash is good in your area, not good in your area. Unfortunately, what I did when I was starting out is I tested my market. So I would say, do a shift here or there just to kind of see what it produces for you. Don't count on one shift, count on multiple shifts, so that way you can really get to know your area and your market and really see how much that produces for you, because you might have one really good morning and you might have one really bad morning, and you might not be able to really see the consistency until you do it for like a week or maybe even 2 weeks to see what you can produce for your own area. So Monique, you said, Kim, you seem to be able to do several orders in an hour. How is your traffic there? It's awful here and seems to be getting worse. Ah, thanks, Thomas. Kim's Pepper's fun. Thank you. You guys are like funding my Dr. Pepper addiction. So, yes, there is, it depends on like the time of the day. I'm very minimal traffic, I will say that. It just depends on, Roger. Steve, thank you. Yes, so thank you, Steve. I'm going to mention it right now since you did this, and you're here right now. So I will be on with Steve, the Rideshare Rodeo, February 10th. So I will actually put it in my community post. So join us. I am so super excited to do this and have a night with you, and we're going to chat it up and have some fun. So come join us on the 10th. Like I said, I'll put it in the community post. It's on Steve's channel as well. So come join us and we're going to have some fun. But thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate it. So yes, there is traffic in my area depending on the type of day and where I'm at. So one of the areas I do a lot of my pickups, where a lot of my restaurants are, is a downtown area. And during like the afternoons, I actually stay completely away from that area because they're doing water main work on like the main road, and like it's just jam-packed and you can't move. So I kind of know what areas during what times to maneuver around. And then during the summer, because I am so close. Hey Jason, how are you? And I can't remember whether I saw you or not, but hi Jason, how are you? During the summer, because I live close to the shore area, it gets, especially like on a Friday, because we get a lot of people from out of states and from New York coming to the shore area, like it gets to the point where you can't move. But on the most part, my area is pretty decent with traffic. I will say though this, I have learned through these years of side streets and maneuver arounds, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but I've gotten better at knowing my area and side roads and what to take and what not to take. But on the most part, traffic is okay. It just depends on where I'm going. I agree, Kimberly. We have an awesome group here. So Josh, I saw that you said that you don't like Papa John's pizza, and then Kathy, you said you've never had Papa John's pizza. I think I've had like Papa John's like a couple of times, and we're going back like years ago. It's been a while since I've had Papa John's pizza, and and we had this discussion with Steve and Jason the other day. We were having a whole discussion about pizza. Oh, thank you, Jason. I really appreciate it. We'll be live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Yes, go check them out tomorrow at 9 o'clock. But we were having a whole discussion on the radio, was it 2 weeks ago? What pizza we like, and I actually said I'm a Domino's girl. Believe it or not, I love, for whatever reason, Domino's pizza, and it's actually funny. And I can't remember, and Jason or Steve, you're gonna have to correct me, who said this, that you liked Domino's because no matter where you went or what country you went to, Domino's is always the same. But yeah, I'm a Domino's girl. It's a very, first of all, it's a rare occasion when first of all, I love pizza. Pizza is like one of my biggest weaknesses in life, but it's probably one of my biggest, but I am like, we're in eating healthy households because, low sodium and heart conscious, eating around here. So it's a occasion when I actually have pizza, and I enjoy every single bit of it. I'm just saying. Oh, thank you, ISTV. I really appreciate it. Oh, you guys were having like a whole discussion on chicken sandwiches. So believe it or not, so I've never had, you guys are probably going to make fun of me for this, but I've never had the Popeye's chicken sandwich that everybody like craves about. I've never had it. I know people like swear by like their spicy chicken sandwich or like their regular chicken. I've never had like their chicken sandwich before. And people, hey William, how are you? No one, like everybody makes fun of me because I've never really had their chicken sandwich before, but it's funny, you guys are actually having a discussion about chicken sandwiches. Josh, he said the problem is you're likely not to get any orders from 5 a.m. to 6:37. I've tried 6 a.m. in my area, and I literally got no orders whatsoever. My market usually starts around like 7 a.m. So if I'm going out in the morning, I usually don't start until like 8ish, 7:30, 8 o'clock, because that's usually when my area actually kicks in. Thank you, Kathy. Yes, definitely set a reminder. I will go to Rideshare Rodeos. He has it actually on his channel, and then I will actually post it on my community page as well. But yes, set your timers. February 10th. Don't make sure to join us.
Don't forget Jason.
I did. And Jason will be there too, so join the three of us. We're gonna have fun. We had fun on the podcast on the radio show a couple weeks ago. I had so much fun with you guys, and spending, what was it, 2 hours we were together. So I'm really looking forward to the 10th. So come join us. I'm actually really excited. Kathy, yes, I am. So I am probably 10, 15 minutes away from the beach during summer. It's absolutely fantastic because I just, get in the car and drive to the beach no matter when I want to go to the beach. It's, it's some things that we take for granted that I'm like, oh, I'm just by the beach. And some people are like, oh, you live by the beach? I'm like, yeah, I live by the beach. Kimmy, looking forward to being on the Brat of the Day. I am so excited. That's tomorrow at 3 o'clock with UDM. Yes, I am really looking forward to it. So thanks, Bud. Yes, I am So I was doing Mondays with UDM, with breakfast UDM, and now we are switching to Wednesdays, and I'm doing the bad of the day with UDM on Wednesdays. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So Steve, you said Domino's if you pick it up, not delivered. Peggy, your kids love pizza. I'm telling you, pizza is like one of my weaknesses. But you know, I have to be healthy. Healthy choices in my household. Oh, thank you so much, DJ Gig and more. I really appreciate it. Very sweet of you. Thank you. So Gig Lebowski said, as far as pizza, when I lived in California, Round Table Pizza was my jam. Locally, it has to be Richie B's. I've never heard of Round Table Pizza. Oh, that sounds good though. Doesn't it sound good? Round Table Pizza? It sounds like, oh, it sounds good. I'm telling you, pizza is like one of my weaknesses. Thomas, you said Popeye's chicken sandwich is the everything. Okay, one of these days I'm gonna have to try it. I'm such a foodie. Ugh, I love food. I love all kinds of food, and I'm not really a picky person. There's a couple things that I don't eat, but for the most part, like, I am experimental. I like all kinds of food. I'm such a foodie. Oh, thank you, Peggy. I really appreciate it. Guys, if you haven't done it already, take the time and give this live a thumbs up. I'm going to take a drink of my Dr. Pepper. So take a minute. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to give this live a thumbs up. If you are tuning into my channel for the very first time and are thinking about subscribing, go ahead and subscribe right now. Make sure the bell is turned on so you know when my latest videos are coming out, and I am live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. and you guys can join me. So Steve, you said you're getting hit with hard snow tonight. Oh, -5 degrees. Oh, I'm not a winter person. I'm telling you, I am such a summer girl. I feel like I'm sometimes like a whiny baby. I'm like, it's 8 degrees outside, and then sometimes you guys come back and like, well, it's -5 and -8. I'm like, oh, I feel really bad about complaining now, but I am such a summer girl. Like, I'm not cut out for the winter. I know a couple of you guys were saying that, you live in Florida, and I'm like, oh, I keep saying I want to move to Florida, but I feel like I'm a Jersey girl, true and true. PJ, you said you got Popeye's chicken sandwich today. That's actually really funny that we're talking about that then. DJ Gig and more, my wife is going to dash with me tomorrow. Oh, that's so cool. I'm telling you, I love it when my husband comes with me. We have a blast. It's actually kind of nice to actually talk to somebody and, throw things off of. And sometimes, like, when you're by yourself and, like, you're like, should I take that order or should I not take that order? Like, you actually have someone next to you and you can actually talk it through sometimes, even though my husband sometimes like, freaking just take the order. Don't take the order, just make a decision. But it's kind of nice. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Oh, you got 12 inches. Oh, I'm rooting for you up there, Michelle. I know you guys are getting hit hard, but I'm telling you, oh. But yes, I love going out with my husband, and my daughter sometimes comes with us too, and it's a whole family event. I love it. So hopefully you have lots of fun with your wife. Oh, so round table pizzas in Vegas too. So it's a chain. I've never heard of that. I might have to Google that just to see what it's like. So Kimberly said Chipotle is my favorite healthy. I love eating Chipotle, but this is the thing. The sodium is so freaking hot. Like, so because of my husband's diet, it has to be like no sodium diet. Sorry, it has to be heart healthy, so no sodium. And it's literally been almost 2 years now since I've had Chipotle. I miss Chipotle so much. But even when I went through a time when I was trying to lose the weight that I did, especially after pregnancy, Chipotle was like my healthy fast food eating for a while. But oh, I love Chipotle. I love their salads, like their salad dressing. Oh, see, now you have me guys craving Chipotle. I'm telling you. Thomas, you said Chipotle. You're a Chipotle person too, yeah. So, Butsuda, you said been minus 20 and minus 30 wind chilled here a lot lately. Your fingers be frozen in 30 seconds. Oh, man. I can even imagine, in that type of weather, only you guys probably answer this, does the food actually even stay warm in hot bags? Do hot bags even work at that point with that type of degree weather? I'm just saying, do hot bags still keep your food warm? Oh, so now I feel bad complaining about 8-degree weather. I need to stop complaining about the weather. Is that what you guys are trying to tell me? Stop complaining about the weather? Oh, Kimberly, yeah, their queso, so good. Especially like their chips with the like a little bit of lime on it with the queso. Maybe I need to do like a separate channel on just like food I try as I'm out gigging. I'm just saying. Kathy, you never tried Chipotle? Oh, please go out and try Chipotle. If there's a Chipotle around you, go out and let the snow settle first. I don't go out in the snow because I know you're getting snow. But when the snow settles and if there's a Chipotle around you, go get Chipotle. You will not be disappointed. I'm telling you. I know as drivers, sometimes we hate to go to Chipotle because we hate waiting for Chipotle, but go to Chipotle and actually be a customer. The food is so good. So Josh, you're finally getting a Chipotle in your zone. I'm telling you, it depends on your Chipotle. My Chipotle has been getting better in my area for a while. Kathy, okay, you have lots of Chipotles. Well then, after the snow settles, treat yourself to a burrito bowl. I'm just saying. Treat yourself to a burrito bowl. You will not be disappointed. I'm telling you. So my Chipotle in my area, I was complaining about it for a while, like the wait times, and then for a while they weren't staffed and they like shut down delivery apps altogether. And then lately, like they've been coming alive and they're actually getting better in my area. So I don't mind Chipotle anymore. They used to be my favorite, and then they went on my bad list, and now they're back to being on my okay list. So, but as a consumer, love Chipotle. Oh, Cadobo's good too. They have a really good, and I'm not a big brown rice person, but Cadobo has a really good brown rice, and then their fajita veggies. Oh, see, now you guys are like making me hungry. Like I feel like I need like Chipotle or Cadobo or some kind of like burrito bowl place. William, I missed this. I'm sorry. I'm down to 255, 250. Hopefully, I can hit 200 by the end of summer. Congratulations, William. That is absolutely fantastic and awesome. DJ Gigan more. I do that too. When I bring take out home, I use the hot bag. I do the same thing. I completely do the same thing too. That's actually really funny. I said it really does help having hot bags in the car. It always keeps my personal food warm too. William said Chipotle is one of my no-fly zones. I'm telling you, it depends on your Chipotle. My Chipotle used to be a no-go for me for a while, and Josh, I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit because I saw that today. It sounds very interesting, to say the least. I'll talk about the McDonald's new menu in a little bit. Um, so let's talk about the McDonald's. So I went into McDonald's today. So they have the air, land, and sea sandwich. Is that, Josh? Is that what you're talking about? Where they now have on one sandwich their McChicken, their a burger, and their fillet of fish all in like one sandwich. I'm like, oh, that is a stomach ache waiting to happen. But I wonder if it's like a really good combo. It kind of reminds me like of, well, no one, oh, if you're from New Jersey, you know what pork roll is. If you're not from New Jersey, you have no idea what pork roll is. But they have breakfast sandwiches in New Jersey that you can get pork roll, sausage, bacon, like every lunch, or I mean every breakfast meat you can on an egg sandwich. It kind of reminds me, Josh, that's what you're talking about. But I saw it really quickly. There was another sandwich too. Was it a McChicken and just a burger too? I couldn't remember what the second sandwich was, but I don't like three of those combined onto one sandwich. I feel like that's like, I don't know. I feel like that's a stomach ache, like waiting to like happen. I don't. To me, that's just way too many McDonald's combinations. And can you imagine? So my husband's like the type of person that takes like McDonald's fries and puts them on his cheeseburger. Can you imagine if someone like was one of those people and did the burger, the McChicken, and the filet fish and fries all in one sandwich? Oh, oof. I'm just saying. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't knock it until I try it, but I have no plans on trying it anytime soon. Oh, Bubba Coos. I forgot about Bubba Coos. I love my local Bubba Coos too. I don't know whether any of you guys, is it a New Jersey thing? Is Bubba Coos a New Jersey thing? I don't even, I think they're a chain, national chain maybe, but I know they're in New Jersey. But they're another burrito bowl place. They have really good quesadillas. I'm telling you, maybe I have a new idea for
DoorDash too.
for a channel, and they're on DoorDash. Oh, and they actually, I love my Bubba Coos because they take care of me, and like whenever I go in there, like they know me by name. They're like, oh, here, Kim, here's a bag of chips and salsa. I'm like, yes, please, thank you so very much. I love Bubba Coos. Oh, they're good peeps in there. So Josh, you prefer Cadobo over Chipotle? Interesting. Everybody has like their, it's either or. When I went to my first Cadobo, and actually didn't like it. I think it was the one that I went to, because then I went to a different one, and like it was actually in a mall I used to work in, and like I got addicted to Cadobo to the point where like I was getting a burrito bowl from them like every single day, just because I loved their brown rice. Now I don't even know whether there's one around me anymore, but the when I used to work in that mall, like I would literally go there like every single day. I've never heard of that, PJ. Orizabas? I've never heard of that. I might have to look that up. I know I don't have one around me, but I'm curious on what that is. Oh, that's what it is, Josh. They have a breakfast sandwich with a hash brown on it. Okay, I'm just not, I'm not a big breakfast person to begin with. Like, if I can skip one meal, breakfast would be like the meal that I would skip. So I'm not a big breakfast person to begin with. Like, I even don't like, sometimes like they have like the McGriddles with, oh, that just sounds gross to me. Like McDonald's has the McGriddles, and I can't remember whether it's a Wawa or Quick Check. I can't remember which one takes their breakfast sandwiches and puts them on a pancake. Like, to me, that just doesn't even sound appetizing. Like, I'm just not a sweet and salty person. It's either give me sweet or give me salty. Like, I'm not a big combining the two together, but maybe it's just me. Yeah, I didn't catch the third one too. I just like I saw the air, land, and sea, and I'm like, oh, that's a sandwich for you. German Dad, I love it when I can execute a parallel park in the snow. I'm impressed. I don't think I can. I don't think I can do that, but I'm highly impressed you can do that. You are like have to parallel park. I feel like I have to parallel park like all the time, just because whenever I park, I'm in a downtown area. So like parallel parking is like the thing to do in my area. It's the only way that like you actually get a parking spot and you're like fighting for parking. That's some driving skills there when you can parallel park in the snow. Kathy, a typical old lady talking about deals on food in a YouTube live show. Hey, I'm all about deals and talking food, so you're talking like two favorite subjects right there. So I'm just saying. Monique, McDonald's hash browns are greasy. They are greasy, but for some reason, like it's one of the few one of the few breakfast items at McDonald's I actually will actually eat. I'm just not a big fan of their. I'm not a big fan of their eggs for whatever reason. Like I always feel like their eggs are very super dry and gross. So if I ever get a sandwich from McDonald's, it's like a sausage biscuit or a chicken biscuit. It's something that just has like meat in it. I'm just not a big McDonald's breakfast person. But Kim, how about chicken and waffles for breakfast? I can't put it together on my taste buds. It no. I like chicken and I like waffles. I don't know. There's something about, and I know people love chicken and waffles. It's just not, it's to me, like I said, to me, like I feel like I like salty and I like sweet. The combining of salty and sweet together, mm, mm, it's just not my thing.
There's so much for game talk. This is why I love this channel.
Mm-hmm. And so much for Gig Talk. This is why I love doing this, because we completely went off on a tangent of food. Like, I can literally talk about food, like, all day long. I am such a foodie, I'm telling you. You get me on, like, a food kick, I'm like, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. And start getting me on, like, recipes out there, and we start swapping recipes, you got me lost. And I love making, like, new recipes or anything fun at home. Like, this is so completely off topic from gig work, but a couple weeks ago, I did a new recipe for buffalo chicken meatballs, and like, I feel like they're now like a staple in my house, and I've been making them at least like once a week because they're so freaking good. Ugh. Josh, you said no, in the same way as you, Kim. When I have pancakes or something, it has to be on another plate. I don't like syrup near my eggs or bacon. And I'm the same way. Even though I have to say I'm kind of weird though. I kind of like sausage and syrup for whatever reason that is. I don't know. It's like probably the only thing I actually like touching my syrup. I don't know. I feel like I'm weird when I say that. Am I weird when I say that? PJ said, when I worked at McDonald's years ago, the Egg McMuffin eggs were real eggs. The big breakfast and sausage biscuits and eggs were egg beaters. Interesting, huh? I can honestly say I've never had like I always see the big McDonald's breakfasts, but I'm weird with scrambled eggs unless I know that they come from me. I'm weird with scrambled eggs, but maybe it's just me. Tom, Kim, you're so much fun. Well, thank you. Now that we went on to like a whole food tangent. A place in AC in Vegas have the best chicken and waffles. Ooh, what's the place in AC? I'm just curious, Josh. I've been dying, like literally dying to go to AC. So I used to, which by the way, those of you who aren't from New Jersey, it's Atlantic City. I used to go to like Atlantic City, and this is pre-daughter. I used to go to Atlantic City like literally once a week. It used to be like my date night with me and my husband, because we would get a free room in Atlantic City, gamble a little bit, and actually use our comp dollars for a free dinner. And like we were such Atlantic City people. And I was saying to my husband, like, I've been dying to go to Atlantic City, but not right now. But it was like our jam for a while. So I'm just curious, Josh, what restaurant it is in Atlantic City. So Kathy said, when that's exactly when I haven't tried some of these places. I can't deal with the food touching or running into I'm neurotic like that. My sister is like that. My sister, she's such a picky eater. Like she literally has to have like food separations in her food. Like her food literally can't be touching each other whatsoever. Like she literally won't even like eat anything if her food actually, like she'll like literally not touch her food if her foods are touching each other. So I hear you, Kathy. So Jim and Dad, you said when on keto, I like making keto waffles and egg, bacon, and cheese with a little pure maple syrup. Okay, that actually doesn't sound so horrible. Okay, I think I can deal with that. DJ Gig and more, we were all a little bit weird. I'll be the first one to admit I'm weird. Kimberly, this is a good break from gig work. I think it is a good break from gig work. I'm having so much fun talking about food. Oh.
Yeah, this is the worst part about my night, guys. It's past 9:30.
When Kim gets so excited about talking about food, you make me want a Chipotle and a Dr. Pepper. Well, I got the Dr. Pepper right. I just don't have the Chipotle right now. So I have half of the mix, but I feel like I need to go get Chipotle tomorrow. I'm just saying. But as much as I love talking about food, unfortunately, I just looked at the time and holy, I don't know like where this like night went besides on like a food tangent. But guys, I have to call it a night, and I really appreciate all of you guys being here with me today. I had so much freaking fun with you guys tonight, and thank you so much for joining me on Tuesdays. I'm here every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. So come back next Tuesday. I will be here. So a couple of upcoming things. Tomorrow is UDM with Brad of the Day at 3 p.m. And then I have Rideshare Rodeo Steve and Jason on the 10th, which is I believe at 9 o'clock. So we have that coming up. So I have a whole bunch of things lined up that'll keep you guys informed. But thank you guys so much for being here today. If you are driving this week or today or anytime, please stay safe and healthy. Remember, kindness is always free, guys. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.